is joining us today to talk more about what in the world is going on in the space. And Hugh, I know you've got some money, at least you had some in Celsius. We'll talk about that in
Yeah.
a moment. Let's talk about, maybe you want to start with the Celsius game. Like, can you get your money out, or they do a bank run?
Not yet. I did send an email over to a programmer, but I think a lot of it has to do with the volatility of the market. I even saw something with Binance, which is like a huge company. And when things like this happen, it can cause a lot of breakdowns in technology, gas fees, people trying to take things out in a hurry, stuff like that. People tend to get wrapped up in the fear of, oh my gosh, what's going to happen. And typically we see this in the crypto market. We see it go up and down. And when it goes down, there's a lot of people that have a bucket of money that are like, hey, let's get it at a discount. I had two friends call me. They're like, oh my gosh, what are you buying? What are you buying? And so you'll see things go up and down. They'll go down, and then people will buy on the dip, and then you'll see it go right back up again. And then people go, oh man, I wish I got some while it was on sale. So you're seeing that a lot. When you look at like Ethereum, I'm involved not just with Bitcoin mining, but with NFTs. There's actually a lot more sales happening with new people right now, because they're like, oh, I can take my money and I can get Ethereum at $1,200 or $1,300 versus $1,700. Now that NFT is going to talk, it's going to cost people less money, but there's, you have to understand that there's going to be ups and downs. I mean, that's one of the things I really love about Bitcoin mining, is whether the market's up or whether it's down, I'm getting Bitcoin every day, and my emotions don't get in the way, and that's the positive side of it. But on the other side of it, with what's happening right now in the market, you see a lot of there's a combination of two things. One, you have the opportunists. Those are the people that have big buckets of money. They're like, hey, let's acquire as much as we can right now while the price is down. And then you see the fearful side. People are spreading FUD and, oh my gosh, what's happening? People think of the worst thing, right? And they start spreading it. And it doesn't create like good, mental health, as I could, maybe insinuate. Like, you got to, not get on the roller coaster. Just understand that things are going to go up and they're going to go down, just like the economy, just like stocks, just like gas, everything. So just,
Yes. And I
yeah,
think what you see with these dips, in crypto, it's different, right? I mean, when Celsius says, "Hey, we're not going to obviously lend any more money. You can't withdraw anything." I mean, that is a sharp pivot point, or the Terra Luna situation that took place. So let's talk about, you've got a Bitcoin mining business. Anybody out there that wants more information about that, just contact me at Facebook or send me an email, studio@chrisbergshow.com. Again, studio@chrisbergshow.com. I'll get you linked in with Hugh. But Hugh, you've made a ton of money doing the Bitcoin mining. There's a huge industry right now in North Dakota around data centers and Bitcoin mining. So speak to why you think that's a good idea. Again, not investment advice, so people know, but a
yeah,
good idea. But also realizing that, hey, Bitcoin could go to zero, right?
yeah. Like when I got into Bitcoin mining, over 2 years ago, I didn't really have much background in cryptocurrency. I didn't know when to buy, when to sell. And I think the best thing from a foundational point is to understand or be part of the network, because if you're part of the network and people are transacting, and then as a miner, you're going to get these blockchain rewards. And so all I had to do was buy a machine. I didn't have to build myself a data center and spend a couple $1 million. And by me buying a machine and then paying for the hosting with this company, they take care of all the headaches for me. And then every day I get Bitcoin that comes into my wallet, no matter what the market is. So will Bitcoin come up? Will it come down? I mean, if you're just jumping into the market right now and you're looking at Bitcoin compared to last week, well, that's a pretty limited view. What you have to do is really back up. When I started two years ago, Bitcoin was 9K, right? Today, maybe the price of Bitcoin, 24, 25K. That's almost 3x, right? But if you look at it based on last week, you're not going to get a really good perspective, and you're going to look at it and go, oh my gosh, what's going on? So I think part of the lesson is to zoom out a little bit and look at a couple of year cycle. No matter what you're doing, I'm not giving anybody financial advice, but whether you're in real estate, whether you're in investments, whether you're in stocks, there's going to be up what I call, you're gonna have the abundance times where things are going up, and you're gonna have the winters where you kind of stock up for that time, because the market does go up and down.
Again, not investment advice. If you're just joining us, Hugh Benjamin is with us. He's built a very sizable Bitcoin mining business. If you want to know more about how you can participate, just email me studio@chrisbergshow.com. Again, studio@chrisbergshow.com. So I don't know how much technical analysis you do, Hugh, if any, when it comes to Bitcoin. I mean, I know for myself, I'd heard, hey, 28,000. If it hits 28, probably a pretty good time to buy some more. I saw it at 27 something. Oh, put a little bit more in. Now it's down to what, 23, 24. I mean, do you see this thing continuing to move downward, knowing that it's been following the NASDAQ so readily as of late? Or
I wish we all had that crystal ball. Like I have people that send me these charts, and they're like, oh, this is the next support line. And many times on the support line, there's like, oh, if it hits this, it could bounce back up. There's so many opinions out there. It's so funny because 3 weeks ago, someone told me Bitcoin was going to drop to 11K, and that didn't happen. Right. So you have to just, again, take it with a grain of salt, figure out what's the best thing for you. Someone told me the next major support line is 22,389. They actually sent me a screenshot from a chart that they listened to. So a lot of people believe that, that next support line is 22,389. So if it hits that, then it may rebound and go back up. I'm hearing from a lot of people that do a lot of technical analysis that even though we're taking a dip right now, they do believe that it's gonna go up aggressively after this dip. But again, it could be a 50-50 thing, right? So do what's best for you. There's so many people that when things go down, they have some extra money. So if you have some extra money and you're buying a little bit of Bitcoin here and there, it's obviously better to buy it at 23,000 than 31,000. If you think it's going to go back up, right? So, but again, on the mining side, what I like about the mining side is I don't have to really think about the price. I know that I'm mining Bitcoin, and then the price will go up and down. The other thing I like about it is instead of me investing in Bitcoin, I'm putting money into mining machines. And then, no financial advice, but, a lot of people like that because they can deduct the cost of the machines, that there's some expenses in running that kind of business where they can actually deduct that, for, tax purposes. But, check with your accountant, kind of see what it is based on where you live and how, if you have an accountant or a financial person. But yeah.
Great stuff, sir. We've got to wrap it up there, but he will be back with us in a couple weeks on our Making Money Mondays. And very, very interesting conversation, man. I appreciate it. I hope Celsius sends you back an email and you get your money back, my friend.
Yeah.